When I purchased my Santa Cruz, I explicitly avoided the activity package. I saw it as having too many drawbacks for a couple of reasons, such as wanting to keep my analog gauges and not wanting to deal with the sunroof or tonneau cover. I really wanted the roof rails, but this could not be ordered that way from the factory as of 2022 and 2023 by themselves. So for this video, I'm going to be installing the accessory myself, and yes, that means dropping the headliner and drilling into the roof of my brand new car. The neighbor's dog, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I wanted to figure out, if this was even possible, because there is literally no information out there, was to pull off the roof molding and see what's hiding underneath of it. There were these clips along the whole piece, and this little red one is just marking the front, and it looks like it only fits on one way. Now fortunately, this is a really easy piece to take off. All you need was a tiny accessible screwdriver and a little panel popping tool, and you can work it with no problem at all. It's not going to scratch your paint at all because it takes zero effort to pop these clips free. Now with this roof molding removed, let's take a look at this channel, kind of see what we're getting into. And right here we have a driver's side roof rail pulled right from the packaging. The wax paper covers this butyl tape that is actually supposed to keep your roof rail from taking on water. Otherwise, it's got the same rubber channel as the non-activity package piece with just the covering. So, combined with the two, you should not have any issue taking on water. Unfortunately, this is kind of what we are afraid of. There are zero markings or indicators whatsoever about where these bolts are supposed to sit. Although we do happen to know that this little rubber stopper that goes underneath the plastic piece is flush with that little indentation as it tucks underneath this panel. And it's safe to assume that this is going to be relatively similar. We can see the rubber stopper is basically in line with that curve. Before we can even begin drilling into the roof and that scary part, we have another obnoxious obstacle we have to deal with, and that's dropping this headliner. There are a bunch of little individual components that have to be taken apart first before we can get that headliner down, and then we can start drilling into the roof and bolting those on. And now with that, we're going to lay our seat back, give us more room to work, and start this montage. Torx bit? Why a Torx bit, Hyundai? Why is everything else Phillips except for this one? Why do you hate us? Yeah, you gotta slide this forward to get it out. It's got this little tab in there. I think at this point I may disconnect the battery. It's probably overkill, but there's airbags along here and along here, so why not? Okay, this piece right here, totally confusing to get out. Once you finally get her out that far, then's the fun part. You're gonna have a clip just like this sitting in there, and it can pull straight out, but unfortunately it's gonna have two little prongs on it that are hiding underneath the airbag. That's impossible to see. There you can see I was marring mine up from the bottom side, trying to press it out. Back here is how you have to access it. And then once that clip is popped free, the whole panel just pulls straight back. Huh. what do you know? My Hyundai is held on by rubber bands. And that's it. But a little confusing at first. Rest assured, if I find any secrets or shortcuts, I will let you guys know. So last steps in seat removal, I actually had to grab my impact because I was getting annoyed and frustrated, are bolts here and there, but the whole bracket wants to move. So impacting those out was a way better option. And then there were these nuts sitting right up here and here. Undo those 14mm nuts and the whole seat lifts straight up and out. Bolts, 3 bolts for this to come out, and then 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and these pieces come out. And there you can see that it's all just pop tabs, except for that little guy. You gotta get a screwdriver behind that to pop that guy out. That seatbelt stays on too. Just sits there like that. I think for the back, it's getting hard to see, are just those little Christmas tree clips. Pull those out with a panel removing tool. And then we got the side pillars. But I definitely loosened those two. I believe that and that light will drop with the headliner. All that is left is that bottom panel and that top panel, and they pop out the exact same way. Remove the floor trim panel, the bottom trim panel, and that guy pops free, and then all that holds the headliner up are these wiring harnesses. And right there, some of these little plastic bits just free flow in here. So you'll have to be a little careful of that. That's actually where the oh shit handles lay. That's part of their bracket. Brand new, 2023, all taken apart. So that's what it looks like underneath the headliner. Neat. Okay, now that I really look at it, I wonder if that hole, that hole are what the roof rails are supposed to bolt, because it kind of makes sense, at least structurally, where they're supposed to be. By the look of these roof rails, it does look like there was a little bit of room to shimmy in them, and these are the official hardware for these roof rails, and everything will be linked down below if you guys want to attempt this job as well. And these right here are really large washer nuts, so it does give me some belief that as long as the bolts go down straight, there is a little wiggle room front and back to make this work, and maybe ream out those holes a little bit forward or backward. And in the packaging, they really use quite a bit of plastic. It's a little overkill. Alright guys, come check this out. It is exactly like I thought it was going to be. Those little holes were the reinforcement points for the roof rails. So, where's the other one? You can barely see that guy over there. So it does give you some indication of exactly where you need to drill. So if you were to drill from the bottom side in these locations, you would have zero issues with alignment and not even need to measure. Perfect fit. But I'm actually going to take the rail back off. Both sides are done, but now we're going to address the bare metal issue. These holes, well, they're now bare metal, so they will begin to rust first off. So I do have some self-etching primer, and I'm actually going to be spraying the crap out of a Q-tip. Take a Q-tip and dollop all around the bare metal and let that dry to protect it from the rust. And I got some leftover butyl tape from my El Camino, so I'm actually going to put a little ribbon of butyl tape on these holes just to further waterproof them. Ooey gooey stuff. Alrighty, just got the interior all put back together, but we're not done yet, because in my next video, and with some help from Automotive Specialty Systems, we are going to be adding off-road roof lights to the Santa Cruz. This company has been pioneering the way with aftermarket accessories for the Santa Cruz community, but more about them and these perfectly designed brackets in the upcoming video. But that's all I got for you guys, and if you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to drop a like on your way out. This is Jake, and I'll catch you in the next one.